News this morning, a Kentucky memorial gets a few new names added to the list, remembering police officers who lost their lives. And a Kentucky soldier is finally honored after making the ultimate sacrifice 6 decades ago.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Well, good morning to you. It's 6:32 on this Thursday morning. Just one more day until the weekend. I'm Dakota. No, is it one more day, Brandon? I don't know. It'd be one more day. Oh, Brandon, just go ahead and do weather. I'm really just struggling this morning. I'm not in it this morning. I don't know what my deal is.
Listen, we're going to have to get you some coffee after the newscast.
No, Coke Zero, thank you.
Exactly, get you woke up there. But yeah, it's one day until Friday, which the weekend is after that. So yes. So we're going to continue to watch the rain track in from the south this morning. We're watching some of that right now on live pinpoint Doppler radar. But the heavier spans still just outside of our area there in parts of northeast Tennessee and starting to come across the border from Tennessee into Virginia and Kentucky there. So be careful if you're in the Cumberland Valley, some heavier pockets of rain. UVA-wise, a little bit of cloud cover, a little bit of rain there in the overnight hours, a little bit of wind as well. 61 Williamsburg, 67 Ashland. Most folks, though, are in the low to mid-60s out there, so be aware of that as you start your day. 76 this afternoon, 64 overnight. It's going to be back and forth with those rain chances all day and all evening. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. One Pulaski County man is facing charges following a child pornography investigation. Kentucky State Police say 27-year-old William Brandon Combs was interviewed and arrested Tuesday. Troopers say equipment they believe was used to look at sexual explicit images of children is being looked over at a forensic lab. If convicted, Combs could face up to 20 years in prison. A federal judge ruled that a former Kentucky Democratic Party chair must report to prison next month on campaign finance charges. The Lexington Herald Leader reports Jerry Lungergan was ordered to go to prison November 30th after the 6th Circuit Court of Appeals upheld the 74-year-old's conviction and rejected a motion to suspend the judgment. A jury convicted Lungergan and political consultant Dell Emmons in September 2019 of conspiring to illegally contribute more than $200,000 from one of Lungergan's companies to the 2014 U.S. Senate company of his daughter. Now, Lungergan's attorney says his client will report to prison but will continue to appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court. A man faces drug charges after investigators seized heroin and fentanyl in Floyd County. Police say a tip helped them arrest 38-year-old James Matthew Woods. Woods now faces drug trafficking and possession charges. He's also facing charges of third-degree assault of a police officer and fleeing or evading police. Police say Woods was also wanted on 6 outstanding warrants. Tuesday night was busy for Wolfe County search and rescue team members. 2 separate teams were sent out to look for 3 lost hikers. One team was sent to find one missing hiker, while the other searched for a lost couple. The one single hiker was found safe along a trail. The second team never found the couple, but were able to find their car. Officials said the team decided to suspend the search to lower the risk to the rescuers. Well, we have an update on a man who was reported missing in Pike County. Police say 33-year-old Michael Smith of Feds Creek was found safe. Troopers also added that he is in good condition. Smith was last seen a little more than 2 weeks ago on September 18th. The Jefferson County Fallen Officers Memorial was held Wednesday at Jefferson Square Park. The names of several officers who died during the last few months were mentioned. LMPD Officer Martez Hughes' name was added to the memorial. Hughes died in November of last year from complications of COVID-19 after a presumed exposure while assigned to deliver meals as part of the city's Meals on Wheels program. For his wife Sherry, it means so much to see his name on this memorial.
The ironic thing is I used to manage PNC Bank right here, and every day I would walk by this memorial and I would look at the memorial and just think about the people that gave up the ultimate sacrifice, not realizing that one day my sweetheart and my husband would do the same.
Loved ones placed flowers at the memorial. Sherry says she's so grateful to have a place to honor her husband. 76 years ago, a soldier from Estill County was killed in World War II less than 3 weeks before the war ended. Yesterday, United States Army Private Gordon Lee Hardy's brother was surprised with military medals to honor the 18-year-old who died serving our country. Congressman Andy Barr presented a Bronze Star and Purple Heart to retired U.S. Army Colonel Donald C. Hardy. Donald was emotional during the ceremony.
So, I sure do. There's only the two of us. He always looked after me. He was about 1.5 years, 2 years older than me. So they've really done a lot of hard work to get it, and I appreciate it.
Now, Congressman Barr says it is important to remember and properly honor all who served our country. Well, Kentucky State Police are welcoming their biggest academy in 7 years. The academy includes 73 traditional cadets and 13 LEAP cadets. The LEAP cadets will be taking an accelerated version of the academy. The class is tentatively scheduled to graduate in February of 2022. Now, if you are interested in joining yourself, we have that link over on WYMT.com. Last year, there were about 2,100 crashes involving deer across Kentucky. State police keep track of those numbers. Most of those crashes are during the fall when deer are most active. Adam Berniston spoke with Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife about why this happens and why drivers need to be cautious.
Beginning at the end of September and running through December, collisions involving deer increased significantly. According to experts at the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife, this increase is due in part because it's deer mating season, which changed their movements.
The bucks in general lose a self-awareness of kind of what's going on. So they risk more chasing that doe, and they just aren't really concerned about predation, cars, or any type of something that could hurt them.
Another factor for this change is due to the fall harvest season. During this time, Sam says deer are left having to find new food sources.
That removes a lot of forage from the landscape that deer are used to eating, and once that goes away, they will travel further to find what they need.
Now, along with deer being more active this time of year, it's especially dangerous for drivers because that deer movement is typically happening at dawn and dusk when it's harder to see them on the roadways.
Deer often travel in herds, so if you do see one, there's probably going to be several that will follow. And we always want to remind drivers to keep distractions at a minimum. Put your phones down and just concentrate on the roadway.
And according to Sam's, rural roads aren't the only areas for drivers to be cautious. Even large cities can have deer issues due to lack of hunting. In Franklin County, meteorologist Adam Berniston, WKYT.
Sam says if you see one deer along the road, there are likely more with it, as does usually travel in herds, so it's best to slow down and watch for others. Keeneland's fall meet is on track for a return to full capacity tomorrow in Lexington. The track announced earlier this year that it would return to full capacity. The fall meet already selling out for opening weekend. A spokesperson for Keeneland says this and other changes in policy, including ramping up hiring efforts and making masks optional, were only recently put into place.
I think we all have been very optimistic throughout the summer that we could be at full capacity and wide open. But I think as we look at the operations here on our grounds, staffing challenges that everyone is facing, we want to make sure that we're able to deliver on that experience. And no one wants to come here and wait in line for hours.
During the fall meet, Sunrise Trackside returns on Saturdays. Fans are invited to come enjoy coffee and donuts during morning workouts. Children's activities are included, and fans are encouraged to check ticket availability online. 2022 will mark the 50th anniversary of Lexert's, and there is no better way to celebrate that golden anniversary and the return of Breeders' Cup than Horse Mania. Organizers are looking at sponsors and artists to create colorful horse statues for the event. There will be 50 horses for auction, and 10 of them have already been pre-claimed. Lex Arts is also planning on hosting more community events as part of Horse Mania next year, like pop-ups, a gala, and artery parties.
This community will roll out the purple carpet and showcase the best of Lexington, from spectacular racing, our world-class hospitality, and our fabulous art scene.
The horses will roll out in Lexington by the start of spring meet at Keeneland in 2022 and last until after the fall meet.
641, we've been tracking some rain coming through the area in the overnight hours, some heavy pockets. Even had a couple of severe thunderstorms last night in parts of southern Kentucky, but the rain is thinned out this morning. But don't worry, there's more on the way. It's kind of scattered down to the south, but all this kind of circulating around that upper level low that's been plaguing us all week long, and it will continue to do that today. We're taking a look at temperatures. We are in the low to mid 60s, depending on where you are this morning. 67 in Ashland, 66 Logan and Prestonsburg, 62 London, 64 Harlan and Jonesville this morning, and 65 in Pikeville. Also 65 Louisville, Owensboro, Bowling Green, Paducah, and Nashville, 67 Ashland and the Tri-Cities. Out the door forecast for you this morning. We are going to continue to track these rain chances. They are going to become more scattered as we head deeper in the day. Heavy rain at times this morning, and then again becoming more scattered by this afternoon as we top out in the upper 70s. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you, and thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:42. Still to come here on Mountain News this morning. The U.S. reaches a grim milestone as it records its biggest jump in homicides in modern history.